Billie Holiday told me that I was going to be famous. She said I wouldn't be famous for singing, which was obvious. But she said, you're going to be famous. But remember, you can't get so high, somebody won't try to bring you down. So my great aspiration, my greatest ambition is to be so good. Now, in that way, I'm tiresome, as I suppose, to live with, because I want to be a fantastic human being. Basically, people are afraid to die. So they clutch to something which they think will preserve their lives. So they try to guarantee happiness to themselves by shunting dirt and misery off on someone else. That's Sterling Brown. Sterling Brown's poem, The Strong Man. People feel if I can keep them out of this building, them off this street, them out of this employment line, I'll live a little longer. They don't think it consciously, but that is fundamental. People are afraid to be pried loose from their ignorance because they know their ignorance so well, they know it better than they know their body odors. And if you say, come on, give up your ignorance, they get into that terrible position, terrifying position, which Shakespeare talks about at the end of the soliloquy, Hamlet's soliloquy. They'd rather bear the ills they have than fly to others that they know not of. Thus conscience doth make cowards of us all. So they are cowardly. I mentioned courage, and I would like to say something else about that. Finding courage in the leaders and in you who will become leaders. Courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. You see? You can't be consistently kind or fair or humane or generous, not without courage. Because if you don't have it, sooner or later you'll stop and say, the threat is too much, the difficulty is too high, the challenge is too great. You know, I believe that self-love is very important. If you read my work, you know I'm always talking about loving oneself. I never trust anybody who tells me he or she loves me if the person doesn't love herself or himself. There's an African saying which is, be careful when a naked person offers you a shirt. I mean, if he had something, he'd cover himself first, right? So I like to look at self-love. It is very important that it comes from within, that you have a sense of yourself, so that when you walk into an office, you don't go alone. Bring your people with you. Bring everybody who has loved you with you. Say, Grandma, come on, let's go. Great-grandpa, you've been dead all this time. Come on, let's go. I have to go in here and have an interview. Come on, Auntie. Come on, my friends. Come, let's go. And when you walk in, people don't know what it is about you. They can't take their eyes off you. You may not be cute in the given sense. You may not be fashion model size in that particular sense. You may not be any of those things, but they can't take their eyes off you. And they say of you, in this incredible way, which I don't understand, they say, I don't know, but she has charisma. No, what you have is all those people around you. So think of that. Anytime you have anything to do, bring everybody with you that you can remember who has loved you. And then you have that sense of having been paid for. And when you walk in, people will say, now, I think you're overqualified. Yes, you will have that, but you'd have that anyway. How do I think the world would be if 1% of the world's population was complaint free? Einstein said no genius has ever used more than 18% of the brain. But today's geophysicists say no genius has ever used more than 10% of the brain. The majority of us mumble and get around with 5, 6, 7%. If we've been able to stay alive at all, alive and future thinking, alive and having enough courage to care for each other, enough courage to love, and know that we're probably 1% free. I mean, that's 1% of 60 million free of complaints. Imagine, who would we be? Who would we be if we were 1% of 600 million, 6 billion? What would happen? I tell you one thing, I think war would be laughed out of the room. I think the very word, if somebody said war, another person would say, you mean, am I supposed to kill somebody because he doesn't agree with me? I don't think so. Just imagine. People would speak kinder, more kindly to each other. Courtesy would be invited back into the living room, into the bedroom, into the children's room, into the kitchen. If 1% of our world was complaint free, we would care more about the children and realize that every child is our child. The black one and the white one, the pretty one, the plain one, the Asian and the Muslim, the Japanese and the Jewish, everyone is our child. If we were just 1% free of complaint, imagine that we would stop blaming other people for our mistakes and hating them because they caused the mistake in our minds. Just imagine if we laughed more frequently, if we had the unmitigated courage to touch each other. It would be just the beginning of paradise. Enough. Thank you.
What do you know about the multiverse?
Hear ye, hear ye. The court of MulTYversed is now in session. Today we will hear the case of Apple versus Android. Will you all please rise for the Honorable Judge Holly Mildred Noon.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Court is in session. Yes. So we will be hearing the case of Apple versus Android. And just to be sure, I have no bias in this court case that I'll be presiding over. So I'd like to let counsel introduce themselves. Who is on the docket first? Is it going to be, okay, Apple? Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself, counsel.
Thank you, Judge. It is Leophis Cochran, Esquire. You may have known my father, Judge, Johnny Cochran, famous, kind of famous, a little bit. But Judge, I just want to say it is an honor to be in your courtroom. This is what I've worked so hard in my career for this moment, and I just want to let you know I respect you and I respect your courtroom. But with that being said, I am here today to represent my client, Apple Corp. And we're filing a grievance against the Android Corporation for slander, and defamation. I think, Your Honor, once you hear the evidence that I present to you today, there will be no doubt that we are just in our pursuit of our claim, Judge. But I don't want to waste your time, Judge. Let me get right into
Yes,
it.
please don't. Please don't. Yes, please
ma'am.
don't.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. First and foremost, my client, Apple Corp, has been in business since 2007. Yes.
Oh, hold on. Let me say.
Your Honor,
Where's Android? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, no, as a court jester, I just wanted to object. We haven't heard from both counsel yet before opening statements are made. So objection, Your Honor. We need to hear from the other counsel so we know who we're judging.
Yes, absolutely. Just lost track of time. Okay, let's introduce.
My first objection, and I'm not even trying this case.
Thank you, bailiff. Maybe.
I'm gonna go with court jester. I'm not really a big fan of the police, so I'm gonna go with court jester today.
Oh, okay. Okay. This is the People's Court, by the way, everybody, if you're not aware. So,
Judge, it seems as though
let me get 5 of them. Let me get 5 of them for $4. Can I get 5 for 20? Can I get 5 for hey.
Counsel.
Let me start. How you doing, Your Honor? You're beautiful, Honor. Hey, how you doing? Your Honor. I would like to let you know, first of all, I am Cornelius Droid Watson. Yes, I am part of the Droid family. I'm the 3rd cousin of the Droids. We're from the 1st platoon of Star Wars. I heard what Leofus had to say. First of all, that sounds like a house Negro name. But I would like to say that is, I object to all that he said. There is no slandering up in here. We're going to tell the truth how it is, Judge, okay? Secondly, I'd like to apologize for not being in the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? They paid me in food stamps, so I couldn't make the plane ticket to get there. I told you $5, man. So, but I'll be there in a second.
Too much.
Yep. You're doing too much. Okay. All I like to say is I'm going to represent the Droid the right way. Then nobody paid me millions of dollars to lie to you, Judge. I'm going to tell you how it is. Yeah, Cornelius don't lie out here. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
No objection.
Go ahead, Apple.
Just move right on.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Apple. Let's hear it.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just want to first say that our my client's company, Apple, has been around since 2007. Right now, the product that Apple Corp is putting out is a high quality product. It is true that Android does service more customers around the world. However, in the United States, as of this year, Apple has surpassed Android in that category in the US alone. And now we have more users. The Apple Corporation has more users. They have more products that they are able to offer to their customers. And the quality of the products that they offer is, yes, I'm sorry.
I want to, as the court jester, I want to remind the other counsel to remain quiet while arguments are being delivered. We don't want to cause a scene in here or anything. Please continue. Sorry about that, Judge. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Judge. First of all, Judge, I would like to present Exhibit A, and just go off of some of the features that the Apple Corp iOS offers that the Android doesn't and still doesn't have. May never.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear it. Okay, let's hear you what you want to admit into evidence.
All right.
To the court.
First and foremost, Judge, AirPlay. AirPlay is something that is offered on the Apple by the Apple Corporation for their iPhones. That is a feature that is one of the biggest features that the Android devices are still missing. Since AirPlay is a proprietary protocol that Apple developed, we don't expect Android to ever come up with anything like this. But that is exhibit the first point on Exhibit A. Also, FaceTime, which is also another byproduct of the Apple Core. It is also something that Android doesn't offer. However, recently I believe they made their devices capable of using FaceTime, but you can only use it with someone who has an Apple phone. So it's a little tricky there. Also, iMessage. Android does not provide iMessage. Also, another proprietary
I just want to. I'm
I'm
going to interrupt and object here.
Okay.
Can I set my case? Can I interject? Can I go ahead and interject?
Hold on. Once he makes his last point, then he
The
will.
man got more to say. Oh Lord, the man got more to say. Goddamn. Go ahead.
He might have froze, but either way,
he is out of
I'm
line.
just saying.
This is. I've never been in the courtroom.
Goddamn, this man got. Goddamn. Go ahead.
Okay, once he makes his case, that'll be your turn.
Also,
Cornelius.
my client provides lift subject a lift subject feature from background with visual lookup. That is also something that the Android does not possess or offer. Drag and drop is also another feature that the iOS has had for a few years. Offloading apps, that is something that Android doesn't do. Battery health check, hide my email with iCloud. These are some, and shared with you in messages. These are all, there are other things also that my corporation or that Apple Corporation, my client, offers to their customers that Android doesn't offer. But yet Android is still out here professing as though they are the number one marketer of all things, technical. So yeah, again, this is Exhibit A, and I'd like to present that to the court.
Okay, you've been heard. Okay, Joy.
I appreciate it, ma'am. First of all, I don't even like the music of Exhibit, so whatever. We'll start with this. You named a lot of stuff. First, talk about hiding your emails. What you hiding emails for? What you doing out there, Leofus? Okay, you're cheating on your 3 wives, Leofus. Chill out. Second of all, you talk about things that we have, things that we don't. Excuse me, what I say. Things that we have and we don't have. Do you happen to have a little thing called face recognition with your black ass? I guess not. Do you happen to have fingerprint recognition, Apple? I don't think you do. How about that? Those are Droid things and Droid things only, because we out here pimping and we out here keeping your things secure. All right, y'all they're just letting everybody willy-nilly get into your phone. You out there knocked out, sleep. Somebody go ahead, boop, got into your phone. You know what I'm talking about? Droid, you can't do that with a Droid. Now, you want to talk about apps that you offer. It's more like things that you want to sell to a player. Because it seems like if you get an Apple, you got to buy 15 other things that cost $39.99. Okay? You know how much Droid things cost? Free $99. Okay? You're talking about AirDrop. You know what I'm talking about? AirPlay. You know what? Air Supply. Listen to Air Supply on our Droid for free, because you ain't got to pay for music like you got to do on the Apple. How about that? You didn't say none of those things, Mr. Appleman. Okay? Droid is for the real folks.
Okay, so Leofus, would you like to counter his argument?
I would like to object, Your Honor. A lot of that.
Oh, okay.
Yes. A lot of what Cornelius Watson just said was a lot of the things that Apple has already established and had prior to Android. Fingerprint recognition, facial recognition, all Apple. Just so you know, it seems as though the defense didn't do their research.
What do you mean? You don't have fingerprint recognition on Apple 14, by the way. You don't have fingerprint recognition on Apple 14. You don't. Again, I have one.
Your Honor, they have not. The defense has not done their research.
You don't have one
for their case. But they did not do their research. Yes, we do. In fact, offer. My client does, in fact, offer all of those. And to your question, Mr. Watson, the reason my client, has all of these security practices in play is to protect our clients' privacy, and that is one thing that Apple stands behind is security and privacy for all of their customers. Android, however, may not have that capability. because they're open sourced. So therefore, you can easily be hacked on an Android as opposed to an Apple phone, which again, my client prides themselves on the quality and the security for each and every one of our clients. But I just want to say this on behalf of my client, because my client wanted us to make this very clear. Phone sales for the Apple Corporation, it makes up most about 50% of their overall profit margin. But Apple has many products. You have AirPods, you have the iWatch, the Apple Watch. You have the Macs, the computers. There are so many different products that Apple offers. And by the way, all of those products are secure and do provide the utmost security. So with that being said, again, I would like to present this evidence that as Exhibit B to the court for their review. This, Your Honor, is.
Oh, we got slides. We got a PowerPoint. Okay, let's go.
You got a PowerPoint.
As I stated, my father was one of the best, and I like to walk in his footsteps. So here we have a graph. Here we have a graph. This is as of 2023. The dark blue represents all of the phone, so the phone side of the Apple Corporation. As you can see here, it created about a little over $60 billion in revenue in 2023. The light blue and the orange, the yellow that you see here represents all other products of Apple. The light blue at the very top represents the Mac, the computer side of things. So and then the little gray and the orange area are just other additional products that Apple also offers. But as you can see, as of 2023 so far, Apple has made a little over close to $130 billion in revenue off of all their products. And again, these are all quality products that we offer to all of our clients. The client base for Apple tends to be people who are working on the move or on the go, and tend to like to be able to access all of their necessary documents and everything through the Apple phone. And that is another added another added plus of
Thank you. May I interject, please?
I wanted to admit this into evidence as Exhibit B.
Whatever.
Okay, so your evidence has been admitted. All right, Quinn, you have a chance to counter.
First of all, let's start off. We're going to start off with this. Mr. Leofis, do you recognize what this is? This is an Apple iPhone 14 Plus. Would you care to tell me where in the hell is the face recognition and the fingerprint on this? This is your brand new product, and it doesn't have either or. So I rest my case on that part. Second of all, when it comes to the revenue, the reason why you do have that much revenue is because you pimping folks. You can't use nothing with Apple unless it's Apple. So you pimping. Once you end the game, once you end the family, they will pimp you to die for. Okay? You talk about high quality. It's high quality until the next product come out. Because what happened when the iPhone 15 Plus come out? That iPhone 14 is going to be just a paperweight. It ain't going to work for a damn thing. It's going to be slower than hell. And y'all been admitted in court in doing such things. Haven't y'all? Didn't y'all admit in court to doing such things? I'm sorry. I thought I didn't do my research. Okay, so what I'm trying to say by the end of the day is the fact that not only is Droid for the people, but Droid has never stolen for the people, okay? Droid has never put you in a position that you have to be with us. You can leave us, baby. You can date us for just 6 months and go ahead and get out. Just go ahead and buy another phone for $200 in about 3 weeks from now. We cool with that. You know what I'm saying? We don't need you in the family all the time because we treat you right. You can come and go as you please. Unlike Apple, when pimps you, takes your money, and makes you think you're cool just because you got an Apple phone. And by the way, the last thing that I should say is even in the Bible, God told you not to mess with that. Okay? Even in the Bible, God told you not to trust the apple. All right, okay, and y'all out here just holding the apple every day.
Object, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Yeah.
Hearsay.
Holding
Hearsay.
apple. I got the
Hearsay,
apple
Your
here.
Honor.
Cornelius, get a
Like
hold
I
of
said,
yourself.
I'm
We
sorry.
need facts.
I
Facts
apologize.
only.
That was facts. That's a phone. That's a real phone.
I would like to interject real quick and commend Cornelius on his very emotional approach. Although I would say my only critique would be only say I rest my case in a courtroom when you're actually resting your case. Otherwise, we can't hear any more arguments. Just that matter of
Yeah, we be
protocol.
done.
Yeah, we don't want to. We want to give you a chance to present all your evidence. Flag on the
I
play.
had a couple cases. I apologize. I had a couple cases.
Still first.
I got a couple warrants too. I'm sorry. Can I? Ain't nobody watching this, right? All right, go ahead.
Okay. All right.
Do
you have anything else to add?
Can I respond to the defense?
We'll see. In 1 second. Cornelius, you have anything else to add before I allow Mr. Cochran to respond?
Don't believe him. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype about the apple phone,
right.
man. Come withdraw it. Come withdraw it.
Okay.
We give you
All
food
right.
stamps on the first month.
No. Quiet. All right. Go ahead, Mr. Cochran. Proceed.
Your Honor, Mr. Watson brought up a very good point, and I just want to address that. My client does understand that people enjoy using their products, and for that reason, the view or the desire to make all the products relate and work well with one another was the vision that my client initially started with. You know, when you become an Apple customer, you're invested in Apple's ecosystem. Now, this might seem like a shallow reason, but Apple obviously makes a wide breadth of tech products. And if you already own a Mac, an iPad, or an Apple Watch, getting an iPhone makes a lot of sense. I mean, Apple has designed a multitude of continuity features that allow you to carry over work and data from one of its devices to another. And these features can certainly save you time. Now, when it comes to Android, on the other hand, only a handful of Android phone makers have hardware ecosystems that approach Apple's. And even for some that come close, like Samsung, you won't get the depth of an integration possible between the iPhone and other Apple-built devices. So Microsoft is helping Google close that gap a little bit, somewhat, with its new Your Phone app for Windows, which allows Android users to respond to text and notifications on their PCs. But this experience is a little clunky, and there's still a lot of work to be done. So until they iron out those little bugs, they still cannot call themselves the leader in all things tech. And that's what brings us and my client here today, Your Honor. The slander and the defamation. We feel as though there's a lot of opinionated opinions going around on the Android side, not a lot of facts.
Okay. All right. So hold on. I will plan to ask both of you questions in just a moment. Mr. Watson, would you like to respond before I go into my questions for both of you?
Well, when it comes to being able to fluently go from device to device, like he said, they've got the upper leg right now, but that's because they're doing it for the long haul. We been just started at this pimping thing, but it's cool because, like I said beforehand, we ain't taking no money from you. You know what I'm saying? Our products are at a good cost. They do work right. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't got to go ahead and get no new one when the new one come out. So yeah, he might be a little faster with the, integration or whatever he want to say, them big old words, but we still got you covered at a lower price. Okay, I would like to say that. Thank you.
Okay, great. So I'm going to hope both of you did your homework. I'm going to ask some questions now. So first up will be Apple. So Mr. Cochran, as you propose that Apple is the better product,
mm-hmm.
What would you, if someone were, say, like, what would be some features on an Apple iPhone? I mean, you mentioned some, but I'm assuming you're an Apple user, correct?
I am.
Okay. So do you use such as I just looked up here, features such as like Face ID, touch, what is it? The passcode, like, passcode to kind of like secure things. Do you use those features like Face ID, adding a passcode to your iPhone?
Absolutely.
Your iPhone,
Absolutely.
so to secure it. Okay, great. Okay, so my next question is, are you aware if the Apple operating system has had any like hacks or software issues, the iPhone's having any issues in relation to like security issues?
Your Honor, I would be speculating.
Publicly.
I would be
Okay.
speculating because I don't technically work for Apple Corp. I just represent them.
Okay.
However, I can tell you as a user of their products, I have not had any problems with being hacked. I have not had any identity problems or anything like that. And one of the things about my iPhone that I really enjoy as a product is that if my iPhone feels like it's being threatened or feels like someone is trying to hack it, it informs me of that and then allows me to change my passwords to make sure that whatever, if there was an attempt to access my account, we can lock it up and make sure it's extra secure. So I do appreciate that as a customer of Apple, that they do pride themselves on security, because one thing about Android is you get what you pay for. A lot of those apps that you may download or choose to download, they're not the safest, and you don't really know. They do have some good designers, but it's hard to find those in Android. You have to really be good with your search parameters to find those really good apps. But with attorney Watson said that that we charge for everything. Well, there's a saying I grew up with, Your Honor. You may be familiar with this one. You get what you pay for. So if you don't pay anything, you cannot be surprised if people are hacking your stuff and everything's happening to your stuff. Me as an attorney who I deal with a lot of delicate information, I can't afford to have my clients' information getting out there, Your Honor.
Got it. Okay. So same question to you, Mr. Watson. Can you provide more context to the security level of having an Android phone? And, with an Android, I mean, there are obviously different brands. So, can you speak to providing more context around the security?
We at Android are very secure. We are so secure that when you buy Android, it comes with one of those little lighter grips that you can put on your pocket so nobody can steal it from you. It comes with one of those free. We are very secure here at Android. Now, one thing I will say, I don't remember us having any, faux pas or anything like that of people hacking our phones all out in the open. Mr. Leofis, don't you believe that Apple is the #1 brand for the young celebrities? Do you believe that, Mr. Leofis?
That would be an opinion.
That would be
as an attorney, I tend to deal with facts.
The fact is,
can say, from my standpoint, I am comfortable with my
So how do you answer all the folks that have been leaked with celebrity pictures and sex scandal tapes that all say coming from the iOS cloud? How do you defend that? That doesn't seem too secure when I see Miley Cyrus butt ass naked a couple times. That don't seem too secure to me, pimping. What I'm trying to say is, if you come with Droid, we ain't leaking your pictures, okay? We ain't gonna be out here all in the videos, all in the background. You know what I'm saying? Just come to Droid. You know what I'm talking about? Come to Droid.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Watson, for that interesting explanation. So my next question to Apple would be in terms of the quality of the product, in terms of like durability. So if I'm to drop my phone, the options in terms of protecting my phone, like can you speak to that in terms of like, the glass on the phone, just can it take a beating? Is it waterproof? Those kind of things. If we're to compare.
Give me a moment, Your Honor. I need to consult with my client real quick.
Absolutely.
It's very still. That's pretty impressive. I just got to say, the court views this
Yeah.
as very impressive.
That's Apple for you right there. That's Apple.
Is it now? All
Your
right.
Honor, I just was able to consult with my client.
Absolutely.
Now, what my client said is that with any phone, you know, you don't want to drop a phone from high places, regardless
Okay.
if it has shatterproof or a lot, you know, glass or whatever. It's all determined by the way that you treat your phone. I typically, because I pay so much for my Apple phone, and again, you get what you pay for. But because I invest a good amount of money in it, I also want to protect my investment, right? So every time I purchase a new iPhone, I also purchase a case or something to protect it. As I would think people would do with the Androids as well. But to answer your question, they are water resistant, not waterproof.
Okay.
So you can submerge them in water up to a certain depth and they will still have you know, functionality. You know, still complete functionality.
Okay.
Can you throw it in the ocean and go get it and still hope that it works? Probably not. But I don't think there's a phone on the planet that does that, Your Honor. But when it comes to safety and everything like that, when you're investing in something, you want to protect it. I would suggest, like I do myself, to any customer, purchase some insurance, do the things that you know, do all of the necessary steps to protect yourself. And then at the end of the day, you know, if it breaks, Apple will be just fine with replacing it because that's the type of quality customer service they provide.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Watson. With your
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about when I say the pimping that's going on. You see what he did there? You see what he did? He tried to slide in this fact and this little fact. The fact is that I've seen somebody sneeze on an iPhone and it wasn't working no more. Okay, that's the fact. The fact is that if you drop the iPhone,
Your Honor, hearsay.
from
I
2
object.
feet, you
Hearsay.
drop the iPhone from 2 feet and that whole back is gone. That whole glass in the back is gone. You see what I'm talking about? He's talking about every time I purchase an iPhone. It seems like you do that very often. It seems like you have to do that a couple years, if not every year. And every year you got to get insurance on it. And every year you got to get a case for it. And every year you got to get a little glass for it. Here at Droid, our phone costs about $150. You can throw it. You don't like your ex? Throw it out the window. Buy another one for $50 at the corner store. It's going to work just good or better. We ain't trying to steal from you, people.
Okay, so Mr. Watson, let's go to that. You said your phone is only Android phones. What you said, $150?
You can get an Android for $150.
Okay, so can you tell me what is the typical price point for an Android phone that would be comparable
that question.
to an iPhone?
Oh, see, nothing's comparable to an iPhone. When you talk about the pricing, nothing's comparable to an iPhone when you talk about pricing. They want a whole grip. They ask for your firstborn if you want a brand new iPhone. Now we're talking about things that it can do. Then yes, we are very comparable on that. But when it comes to pricing, we offer a variety of prices. We go from the real cheap, low, and all you can do is text. You can't even get a phone call. That's $25 right there. That phone you can find it at your local 7-Eleven, and it's a trap phone. Once you go ahead and sell that key, you can throw it away. Nobody even know nothing. See what I'm talking about? But the other phones, we can go all the way from there to 900, 800. You know what I'm talking about? Somewhere around there. And it's still nice, beautiful phones, with nice features. But you can get a cheap one too if you got a baby daddy who ain't paying your bills or ain't paying your damn child support on time. You know what I'm talking about? We for the people out here, Android. We're poor people.
Okay. And Mr. Cochran, what would your response be to the fact that there is information out there that iPhones are very expensive phones, and kind of how would you kind of counter Mr. Watson's argument in that?
Well, Your Honor, expensive is subjective to the person purchasing. This is the thing about what the defense did not mention. Right now, the number one selling phone on Android and on Android's side is the Galaxy Z Fold 4. Your Honor, the Galaxy Z Fold 4 starts at $1,800. Your Honor. So when you're talking about cost, yes, Android does have some cheap phones. Apple has some cheap phones if you want the least, the least for your buck. But again, as I stated before, my client and his corporation pride themselves on quality. And I don't know that you can put a price on quality, Your Honor. I want my phone to do things that I need it to do, to function the way I need it to function, to assist me in my day to day. And right now, the iPhone that I have does just that, Your Honor. To Mr. Watson's point, yes, Mr. Watson, I do get the upgraded. I do upgrade to new phones probably every 2 to 3 years, but I think that's every phone because I don't think the lifetime on a phone, if you want it to work properly, that is any longer than 2 to 3 years. I think they pretty much set it up that way through all the phone services. Just the equipment itself just doesn't have that long lasting capability, especially when you use it as frequently as most people use their iPhones, Your Honor. So that would be my response in regards to pricing and what's expensive and what's not expensive. Someone could say $1,800 is very expensive, but then on the flip side, someone could say $1,800 is just the right price for a quality item. So it's all about preference.
Okay.
I have a question or two, Judge, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
These shouldn't be too difficult. These are more on the personal side. Just for the sake of the court, I just want to say, as a person, I do own an iPhone. However, I do so under duress, and I hate both companies and most corporations. And my question goes towards that. And this question is for both of you. How do your companies address slave labor charges that have been as recent as 2020 for some of your suppliers?
Now that,
please, yes, go ahead.
we get our lithium from the hoods in Africa. We don't get it from the little slave ships they got going on over there in Apple. You know what I'm saying? We get our lithium from the hood in Africa. We got hood G's who go out there with their little pit bulls and hyenas, and they go ahead and get that lithium for us. You know what I'm talking about? So we might be a little suspect with the connections, but we doing it on the up and up. We ain't trying to slave nobody now. You know what I mean? Like I said, once again, Droid is for the people. You know what I'm saying? That's for the people.
I'm going to acknowledge that answer and the chicanery that was involved in it. I don't
know what I mean.
Question. No problem. I'm going to toss the accusations over to Cochran, counsel for Apple.
Okay.
Well, in response to that, I have to respectfully decline in answering because this case is in regards to defamation and also slander, and that would be a whole nother case. And I'm not prepared to answer those questions as far as those allegations of slave, what the allegations. This is the first time I'm hearing of these allegations. So I can't really speak to it until I've had an opportunity to look over the information and give you a proper answer.
Expertly dodged by both counsels. You are truly good corporate lawyers. Thank you for your service. My next question, it goes to straight to the Apple team. When I last bought my iPhone, I realized that it only came with half of a charger, and I had to buy the other half that plugged into the wall. My question for you, sir, is what the fuck?
Again, I'm here to represent my client. These are technical and questions that you would have to directly go to Apple. But I will say this in the defense of my client. When it comes to Apple, let me see how to put this into words. You know what? Your Honor, I'm just gonna plead the fifth on that one. I really have no response.
Abstain. Okay. No further comment. Got it.
There.
Okay.
And then I have one more
Okay.
for the droid team. I noticed one common problem is droid phones seem to run out of battery quickly, leaving people in a position where they have to try to charge their phone in public. Anytime I hear a droid owner ask for a charger, the response is it an iPhone? To which they have to say no and then sit there with a dead battery. My question to you, droid team, is what the fuck?
Okay, that's a very nice question, and I will not dodge your question like this fellow over here. Now, the reason why we do that is we trying to get you connected, baby. That's all. We trying to get you to get connected to other people, ask other people for things, be able to be sociable, be able to be out there amongst other droid lovers, and be like, hey man, you got a droid charger? Oh, I sure do, because I love droid, and you have a connection right there. So we're just trying to build connections all around the world, my boy. That's what we're trying to do, my boy. Because droid is what? For the people. All right, we got it. Okay, I got you.
Okay, Mr. Cochran, you can respond.
Your Honor, I actually had a chance to talk to my client, and he gave me some information, and I just want to respond to the court jester's question. When it comes to Apple as opposed to Android, there's just a bigger selection of accessories. You walk into any Best Buy, any Target, and I know that's your favorite store, Judge, and you'll find aisles.
It is indeed.
You'll find aisles of cases for every iPhone that Apple makes. Something that certainly cannot be said for the Android contingent. Outside of flagship devices from the biggest companies, maybe, once you get past the semi-healthy selection of products made for the latest Galaxy S device, you're out of luck. Don't bother expecting a choice of accessories for your new Pixel or Motorola headset or handset at any brick and mortar retailer. Sure, you could go online and snag a $4 case off of Amazon, but then you're guaranteed to get what you pay for. Back to that statement, the selection and availability of iPhone cases, screen protectors, car mounts, and other goodies is simply far greater than you'll find for any other phone. And that's more important than most people realize, because iPhone owners will never have the problem of not finding a case to their liking. So what Apple does is we provide all of these different choices and give you the opportunity as the consumer to make a decision on what you want to purchase. Can Android say that they have that same ability?
Can I interject?
I need to, as the court jester taking up bailiff responsibilities and speaking of cases, I do want to say we should be getting to the end of this one. So quick moment to respond.
Quick interjection, please.
Order.
Hey,
Judge, can
we'll
you
go
do
to closing
for
arguments.
me? I don't have a gavel of my own. Thank you very much. Order in the court, please, sir.
So you can respond,
Mr.
Watson, and then we'll go to closing arguments, everyone.
Yes, just quickly, by the way, how dare you, Leofis, real quickly here, Leofis, how dare you say that on Black History Month? The reason why we do that is so you can buy from small businesses. We want Black-owned businesses to make your cases, to make your headphone case. We want Black-owned businesses to get ahead of the time. We're not trying to get you pimped out here and take your money. We want you to go ahead and make some money for the community, because Droid is for the people. Now go ahead.
Okay, counsels. So both counsel, we're going to have closing arguments at this point. Since Apple opened, Android, I will actually let you begin closing arguments.
Oh, Android, me. Sorry.
Yep.
Once again, I would like to tell you about my name is Cornelius Android Watson. But I would like to say in my closing arguments, I have proved to y'all that we're not trying to pimp you. We're trying to do what's best for you. You can come and go as you please. We ain't doing nothing that is inhumane. We're going to be up front with you. Unlike my partner over here who would plead the fifth. You know what I'm talking about? He plead the fifth and then go back and answer the question, which is crazy to me. But what I'm trying to say to you is we will got your back. You ain't got to get a new phone every 3 months. You can buy one for $50. You can throw it at your ex if you want to and get another one for $25. We out here for you. Oh, you dope dealers. We got your burners on deck. iPhone can't do that. We won't leak your pictures. Okay. And you can have face recognition on your brand new Galaxy and your fingerprint on your brand new Galaxy, unlike that iPhone 14 Plus. So come that Droid, like I said beforehand, because we are for the people. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, okay, Mr. Cochran, go ahead and with your closing argument.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I think I've been able to prove my case today. I have been able to provide evidence that my client does provide quality products to their consumers. And one of the things that I think was on trial here today is the fact that Apple sees itself and its consumers as family. That's why all of its products are grouped into one another to work and coexist with one another. It is unfortunate that Android is still behind, but they are behind nonetheless. The number of updates on an Android phone that an Android phone sees over the course of its lifetime depends largely on how expensive it is. You heard the defense just say you could get a $50 phone and throw it at your mate or something like that. We wouldn't advise any of our clients to do anything like that because we take pride in our products. We don't think they should be used to throw at anyone or just to break up whenever you feel the need to. But again, you get what you pay for. But again, I just want to say, Your Honor, it's been a pleasure to be in front of you today. And I just hope that you'll be able to come to a proper decision. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right. So, okay, well, let me just go over the facts very quickly. This is going to be a very tough case to decide today, but I think I've come to my decision. I just want to say both of you gave great arguments for the most part. And yes, this was very informative. So I've come to my decision, and I would say that, you know, I'm sorry, I'm team iPhone all the way. So it's team Apple for me.
It's a travesty. This is a travesty. They own iPhones. They were against me the whole time.
Yeah, so team iPhone for me. But I would say if I were to do, now if we were just going to talk about, now that, you know, court is not in session.
Court is adjourned.
Court is adjourned. I would say if I were to get an Android phone, I probably would be a Galaxy because I would say those things look kind of tempting for people who have them. And as an iPhone, I'm like, oops, kind of tempting. But I mean, I have everything Apple, so I am sucked in.
It's sad that it's going to cost you close to $1,500 to get a phone that's equivalent to an iPhone. That's the Samsung, because the Samsung phone is over $1,000. So yeah.
No, I was when he said the $25 phone. I had to think like you talking about the Nokias back in the day.
Exactly. So yeah, that's, you know, there are good phones. There are, like, don't get me wrong, Android does have some good phones. You're just gonna pay an arm and a leg to use it. I mean, to get one. Like, that's just it. Like I said, the number one phone in the world right now is the Galaxy Flip Z phone or whatever. That's $1,800 for a phone.
Hey, what did you say? $1,800 to some people might be a lot. $1,800 to somebody else may be $1. What you gonna go against your own argument now?
Nope,
what you talking about?
Listen.
What you talking about?
Listen,
we out here doing it for the people.
I said it. It's a good phone. It's $1,800. Yeah. So if you want to pay $1,800 to get an equivalent to an iPhone.
Now, is it true? Is it true or is it not true that y'all got caught talking about? I mean, y'all got caught doing things to the older generation phones to slow them down. Y'all did get caught doing that. Now it was public. You can look it up. So you feel me?
That's your first
Apple.
What you're talking about.
Apple, yeah. So Apple as a company, y'all done some dirty stuff to get you to buy another phone. That's what I'm trying to say. Android will work.
Every company does dirty stuff to get you to buy stuff. Like, what company does
not like Apple
to get you to buy stuff? Not one.
I ain't never heard nobody slowing the old phone down. That's crazy.
Yeah. But look, we about to wrap this up, man. I was gonna try to throw in this little time, but we pressed for time, so we'll just run through this real quick. And this is for all of my Teen Wolf fans. I know Lisa's a huge Teen Wolf fan, but for my Teen Wolf fans, they did just drop the Teen Wolf movie. It is now currently available for your viewing pleasure on Paramount Plus. I watched it, and I have to say it wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. And as a fan, because I watched Teen Wolf, I was a huge Teen Wolf fan. As a fan, it was great to see all of the characters come back. Grown. And it was cool. It was cool. So I would recommend that one, Teen Wolf on Paramount Plus. Again, for your viewing pleasure, Southside on HBO Max. Funny show. Please go check this show out. You will not be disappointed. You'll probably thank me later. And of course, we cannot forget The Last of Us, which is absolutely just killing the game right now, y'all. I can't say enough about how well written this series is. If you have not seen this is another one that is available for your viewing pleasure on HBO Max right now. Go check it out. What are you doing with yourself? The Last of Us. Anything else you guys are watching you want to suggest real quick?
I just want to double down on The Last of Us. I spent most of episode 3 looking at a blurry screen because my eyes were all watery. So
thank you.
Yeah. Y'all get on that if you're not already.
Can I piggyback on saying that? Can we do, maybe if it's later, can we do a review on episode 3 of The Last of Us one day on the show?
Let's next week we'll do. Let's do a little bit of something about that episode.
We'll figure something out. We'll
that was a beautiful thing. That was a beautiful thing.
We'll definitely discuss it. It was a beautiful episode. But anything on the way out, guys?
Oh, I would like to say that I did lose already because there is an iPhone in my house, as you can see. So I already lost the case before the case started.
Yeah. Quality is a hard thing to avoid.
Whatever.
I mean, at some point you're like, I'm tired of the bull. Give me something better. So that's where we're at. But outside of that, make sure you go follow So Please Understand. Make sure you go follow Minnie. What you got going on? You got any shows coming up?
Oh yeah, I got February 11th. I got a show with Chi-Chi. He was in Scarface. He was hosting Carlito's Way. So you check him out on Minnie Morales 53 on IG. You can set my story, and I always got the flyer, so you know where I'm at.
All right, cool. Tyrone, you got anything coming up?
Actually, this would be a perfect place to tell you about my online show on Friday. I'll be on KO Comedy at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Nice.
Friday night, doing a little online comedy set. DM me if you want to be in the Zoom room, or follow Comedy Hub on Twitch to just catch the show.
FYI, don't wait to the last minute to DM him if you want to be on that show.
Yes.
You literally need to go ahead and hit him up now so he can get that in there, because KO Comedy will not respond to you the day of the show. I'm telling you right now, they will not respond to you. You will miss the show.
Are you speaking from experience, Ty?
I'm just saying.
Just hit me up and I'll give you the link.
Thank you. But with that being said, you can also catch me and Tyrone this Saturday at 10 a.m. on the New Blurred Order. Every Saturday on the New Blurred Order. Please tune in. Also, go follow us on YouTube, on Instagram, on anywhere you listen to audio podcasts. At the New Blurred Order. Also, follow us if you are not following us on YouTube, on Instagram at MulTYversed. And also anywhere you listen to podcasts, MulTYversed. I think that's it. I want to just give a special shout out to the Financial Griot. We need y'all. Hit us up. We need y'all. Lawrence, I'm about to DM you and jump in your box, man. Yeah. But yeah, man. I think that's it. All right, cool. All right. With that being said, on behalf of myself, next week. I did this and I wasn't even gonna put this up there. Make sure you tune in next week when we'll be discussing Black history. How you celebrate it, changing your mindset, let's do it. But we're gonna have that conversation next week. So make sure you're tuned in because that's gonna be a fun one, y'all. But like I said, on behalf of myself, Tyrone Thornhill, Holly Noon, Judge Holly Noon, by the way, Cornelius Droid Watson, and Leophis Cochran. We are the MulTYversed, and until next week, guys, we're out.